Starting to feel like
Hold
Wednesday
up,
again.
hold up, hold up, hold up. Hold flag on the play. We don't get no intro?
Oh man, you know what's crazy?
They
You
didn't
know what's
cut the
crazy?
DNA cut the pyro budget?
Nah, you know what?
Come on, DNA didn't cut the pyro budget on us. We ain't getting no intro? Oh man.
That's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. That'll never happen
My
again.
man HP is out of ring shape, baby. We ain't getting
Hey,
no intro.
this is what we're gonna do.
Whew.
We gonna
This
hit you with
don't
that
feel
joint.
like Wednesday. You know
It
what I'm
don't
saying?
even. Hey, I got you right now. So if you tune into the first minute, hey, ha ha, he he. But here
Hey,
you go.
in,
Let's do
in
this
the
thing
words of
right.
Jay Uzi,
I totally.
gotta get my Jay Uzi. We gotta run that back.
I
Now,
can get it again.
now it's starting to feel like Wednesday again. Attitude Era Podcast is in the building. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday Night Wars. I am the Archie Carter, the most loved, most hated. That guy right there. That is Gamaj, your favorite wrestler's favorite podcaster, and the man always hoodied up, ready to go. The undisputed podcast champion of the world, King HP.
Yeah.
This is Attitude Era
Woo.
Podcast. Hope you are doing well. Hope this week is good to you and good for you. It's Wednesday night. We go to war, and I think it's just a lot to talk about in the world of wrestling, man. We took a little break because we getting ready for next year. You feel me? But we back. We back.
Well, we back. A lot to talk about in the world of wrestling too. Uh, normally y'all know how we do this. We usually like to have a topic. But there's so much going on. It's like where you want to start because there's a few areas we can kind of pick and pull.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't know, man. Let's see what the chat talking about. Again, welcome to the Wednesday Night Wars. Always represented the Horseman 97 and the Click. We have teams. We go to war, and it stars you, the user, the viewer, the watcher. This is your night. This is your show. But tonight we were doing a little different, man. There's a lot to talk about. It speculations is speculating still with this John Cena farewell tour. We don't know who, we don't know when, we don't know where. And yeah, that Gamad was telling me earlier, Montez Ford put out something today. It's been talks about the money that's being made in WWE with the Ridge Holland thing going on. Then Priscilla Kelly,
Wow, one.
aka Gigi Dolan, came out and said, "Hey, some people in NXT only making
$30.
$30,000 a year,
Yeah, I saw. Hey, when I see a dollar sign, my eyes go.
bro.
And
That, hey, you go get that at Walmart. No, I'm just saying you got to think to be a professional athlete, right? A wrestler at that. You got to look the part, and we know they're contracted in. I mean, 1099s. They pay for their own travel. They pay for their own hotels. They pay for their own
pay for their own
expenses.
gear, their ring
They
gear, because
pay
they
for
don't
their
have like.
own gear. You got to eat certain things to look a certain. I don't look like Trick Williams. You know why? Because I don't eat like Trick Williams.
Also, don't forget this too. This is like we just said because you did say something very interesting, right? Professional athletes, wrestling has no off season, so they don't get like, okay, this next 4 months I'm gonna focus on back in. If you're in NXT, you're back in Orlando, then you might go somewhere else. Oh, well now we got a show with TNA. They want me over here on this day, all year round.
Yeah, and then on
Uh,
your off day, you might get called in. Hey, we need you on SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but to think somebody who's putting their bodies on the line every night for you is only making $30,000 a year is kind of insane.
yeah,
Bobby
and that
Fish, Bobby Fish is going through that right now. He hurt himself on the Indies, and he said he didn't have insurance, so he's starting a YouTube, and he's like, "Yo, I'm not asking for money, just support the content." This is Bobby Fish, Undisputed Era, trained martial artist, but he's out there wrestling on the indies without insurance. So to think about,
Wrestling
even
is
if
the
you are
worst
making the
industry.
money, you might not have the insurance to match up with the upkeep and the travel and the expenses. Bro, it costs more than $30,000 a year to be a wrestler. To be a wrestler.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, this goes back. Let me think about like the Attitude Era, right? I love the Attitude Era, right? We all do. Anyway, Shawn Michaels, Diesel, Razor, we all remember that. But they talked about they used to rent a van and hit the road. Now these are main stage before when they used to have OVW and uh the Florida, whatever, you know, that was like their developmental. It's a little different now. But the problem with that is if you're only making, and I don't know if how true that is or how untrue that is, but if a wrestler say it from the organization, I have to think there's some credence to it though. Like, well, where would she just get, even if she's off by 10,000,
It's
20,000.
stories, bro. 50,000 ain't enough to be a wrestler and live.
No,
It's
no.
stories about how cheap Mick Foley was on the road. They say Mick Foley used to sleep in cars. He would take the money for this and move it here and do that. He never brung. He would travel with plastic bags. Like, I get it. You shouldn't be, because think about who Mick Foley was and is in the Attitude Era. And before that, Cactus Jack. Like, he was a legend before Mankind. And I heard
No, absolutely.
Bruiser Brody's wife was on Busted Open today talking about how he would eat like broccoli and tuna because he didn't want to mess up the money. And it's it that's like mind-boggling to me. Some of these names we speak in, and they talking about money problems. I would think nobody in WWE would have a money problem, considering tickets cost $8,000. They sign a TV deal every year. TKO is part of it. They got the Riyadh season money. I don't count nobody pockets, but they making money.
Vinny, this is a very interesting statement. I don't know if you go back to one of our live streams where we had a blurb. I don't know where we got it from. I got to see if I can find it. It talked about even NXT wrestlers making upwards, right? And upwards of 200K. Now that could be before taxes, that could be their main like top talent, or it could have been just a guess and it could have been, you know, from whatever. But let's say this. I would expect an indie wrestler, not an indie, a developmental WWE wrestler, right? To be making around 80K. And but as an independent contractor, that's not a lot. You still got to tax it. You still got to hit the road. You still got to, you know what I'm saying, your outfits. Who's making them? Mercedes Monet used to have her husband before her whole split with him. He was the one doing her outfits. Um,
I got a question for you, HP. I didn't put my boots on the ground before, but I'm gonna ask you, as someone who served 23 years, thank you for your service. Happy Veterans Day.
I appreciate it,
I
brother.
kind of equate it to being in the military a little bit. Because if you don't do other things in the military, once you're out, like you're kind
You're
of on
done.
your own.
Yeah, that's a good
Done.
point.
And I hate seeing homeless veterans, right? For a lot of reasons. I think veterans are some of the most misused people. I've seen a lot of divorce happens, high divorce rates where people get swindled, and there's certain perks that like, oh, you get retirement. Yeah, but when you divorce, that's kind of as an asset that gets split. The other person gets a percentage and you were taking care of them, and now your money gets, and then the heart, like divorce is not common. So let me just go back to bring it to wrestling. On the road, you're deployed, you're gone, you're away from home. It sucks. You're living on a ship in close quarters and three on top of each other. It sucks. It sucks. So I can only imagine being crammed in a car going from Tuskegee, Alabama, or you know what I'm saying, Tuscaloosa, Alabama to Ferguson, St. Missouri. Then the next night you got to be in Anaheim, California. You know what I'm saying? You're traveling with these guys. That money goes very fast when
And
there's
it's
no per
it's
diem.
and like I said, it's a lot of money now. I remember, I think it was Edge. His first deal was $200 a week, right? And he said half of that went to the person he was in the car with because they had to split the money to be on the road. But it's like you got to put in the work. But nowadays, see, back then we didn't know what the company was making. Now with a quick Google search,
Yeah,
I know
you
what
know everything.
TKO is. I know what TKO is making. Y'all bragging and telling me y'all done sold out 80,000 seats 2 nights in a row. You telling me my
Yeah.
T-shirt is the number one T-shirt? Like, why is and
Hey,
30K to 200K is a big gap.
Yeah.
publicly traded company, you can pull their docs. It ain't private information behind the wall with Vince McMahon no more.
But the word
That's
WWE became WWE because Vince labeled it entertainment, so he can kind of move around taxes. You said one key word that's going to always keep the money where it is, HP, developmental. As long as NXT is branded as a developmental company, you can pay people developmental money.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It makes
But
me
they're
want.
putting on
It,
some
you
of
know
the
what?
best
That makes me
programming
wonder.
on TV. That's the crazy part about it.
You know
And
what
that
that makes.
developmental company is in bed with another company right now.
Yeah.
But go ahead,
No,
Gamaj.
but Archie, you know what that makes me
Hold on.
wonder?
Let me split these up. Let me go ahead and put this ISO on y'all because I'm over here slacking. I'm sitting here listening. I'm a fan and turned into a viewer. I'm like, oh
No, but you know what it makes me wonder? Because if NXT is a developmental brand, what is Evolve? And that's supposed to be under NXT. And do and I can only imagine their pockets.
They pants don't even got pockets.
Like, oh my god.
Where
Like
y'all
I
get
don't
them
so
pants with no pockets from?
like I don't care what profession it is. If whatever you're doing requires you to be on the road more times than you get to see your own family, you deserve to have a stable pay.
If whatever you doing is putting your well-being at risk, you deserve something. I was watching something today. Paul Orndorff's last match was a freak accident. It wasn't no.
what the hell just happened?
It wasn't like with Draz and D'Lo, which was an accident. It wasn't Brett getting kicked by Goldberg. It was a simple power driver where he landed wrong, and that was Paul Orndorff's last match. So I don't know if there ever could be a guarantee or something, but 30,000, even if the max is 200,000, somebody there is making $30,000, which is uh I can't even believe that. Like I said, you can go get that at Target. I think they start at 20 an hour.
You be honest, you shouldn't even I'm hoping that's after taxes and a gross
Well,
underestimation.
they live in
That's what I
Florida,
hope.
so but here's the thing. How much is your dream worth to you?
That 30,000, bro. I need because again, if it was my call and it wasn't wrestling, it was something like some sort of desk administrative position. Sure, maybe as I'm moving up. But you're talking about these people do put. They might not be on TV all the time. They do dark matches. They get loaned out. You remember Wendy? What was
They
her
get
name? Wendy.
flued out. Wendy Chu.
Wendy Chu?
Wendy Chu, right? Wendy Chu went from NXT down to what was the thing? Evolve.
Evolve, yeah.
So people are like, I don't see her on TV. No, she's on another network.
Yeah, but
Like,
but also you got people wrestling on main roster in AAA and NXT. It's they're stretching it out. It's crazy to think that, but I mean, how much is your dream worth to you and what you willing to do? Another part to that, a little bit aside with the company here. Um, we live in a different time though. Zelina Vega would not give up her Twitch because she was making more on her Twitch than WWE. Mandy Rose, she got let go because of what she was doing outside of WWE. So you can use your WWE involvement to get other streams of revenue if you hustling.
I, so let me go back to that. I'm happy you brought that up, right? Vince tried to put a Canex to that because the licensing agreement. So, like AJ Styles is a perfect example, right? He used his name. He came in from another league with it. So he can do a lot with AJ Styles. That's why they had to pay him a large chunk of merchandise and everything because that's his name. He's got that stuck to him. Typically, though, that's not the case. Remember the Ultimate Warrior situation? He became the Warrior for legal reasons because he wanted to still be able to follow that character and maintain the character, and he couldn't because it was with WWE. WWE, Vince was trying to do this, and it became an issue. And I think it was Twitch, but it might have been YouTube's or whatever. He don't want them like if your name is Damian Priest and they gave you that character, you can only operate under Damian Priest doing like what's her name? Big Fine, Yam Yam Bigelow.
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax. Her Twitter account is not under Nia Jax.
Right. It's her name.
It's under her real name. So she's up there doing whatever. Versus when people use the, you know what I'm saying?
But
The
even with that
WWE
HB,
character.
we know they axed Damian Priest from being in Black Panther 2. It might just be a control thing, who knows? But word on the curb is that NXT talents are making $30,000. Just some of them, not all, but hey, it is what it
It's not.
is.
Hey man, if I see a GoFundMe for a wrestler I know and I've cheered or I hated or I, whatever,
We
I'm
see
putting
enough
$20
of those for the legends that should be able to just pull up anywhere. We see GoFundMe's for people. Rest in peace to Mo, who just passed away. He reached out to
Oh, for
WWE.
Men on the Mission, he did.
Yeah, so he reached out to WWE, but they say they only take care of like substance abuse issues, not medical. So, bro, I don't know. The U word has been thrown around for wrestling. A lot of people, no job wants to hear that. To be honest, that U word, it gets you up out of here. Some jobs you can't even say the word union at, or you will get fired. So, I don't know.
So funny you say that. Remember Jesse Ventura, right? Jesse the Body. Two things. One, you're not going to see him on a Saturday Night Main Event again after he tore down. So I don't know if you remember this. Damian Priest steel cage match with
Why did he
was it
walk out
Alistair?
the door?
Yeah, WWE.
He could at least went over the top.
They flamed him for that. Like that's why you haven't seen him. He had a contract. They ain't brought him back. They don't like people talking that they can't control him.
They don't like
Right?
people that make sense because
Yeah.
it made sense. Why
perfect
put us in a
sense.
cage if I could just walk out the door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those who remember back then, it would be the baby faces climbing the cage, but the heels will go out the door.
There was a
But
time for
see,
Jesse's
that's
time.
what
There was no
happens.
door to go out of. That
No,
wasn't a
yeah,
thing.
that's what
Yeah.
happens when you are of the wrong time. Jesse Ventura's old school. Jesse Ventura probably couldn't name half them people in the ring, but one thing Jesse Ventura knows is this is how a match is supposed to go and it's supposed to be presented.
He was
That don't change.
he's
The dance don't
Jesse
change.
Ventura is one of them. You say I'm the most interesting man. I can only imagine his stories. Former Navy SEAL, former professional wrestler, former Minnesota governor. Like, God. But
That's
anyway, Jesse Ventura tried to start a union, and Hulk Hogan snitched him out. To
Jesse
Vince.
Ventura is on the list for Scott Steiner. Do not give him a live microphone.
Yeah, fact. So that U word in professional wrestling, that's how Vince was able to get successful. He was stealing wrestlers because they're all independent contractors, stealing from the territories. And we kind of low-key see that now, taking all the talent or just buy the company.
Buy your competition.
So, but yeah, I wish the best for these wrestlers. To be honest, I don't think certain amounts of money are when I see the amount of work they put in, I kind of do get like, I wish we seen you more often. But here's the thing we don't get. I watched John Cena just recently, and I've seen this 1,000 times, but it really just dawned on me. Him and CM Punk sitting there signing, and they're so good at signing because you see
They're
the
not even
stack.
looking.
That's so in the when I was in the military, we had to sign off, and sometimes we call it basically they'd be like, yo, you gotta my brain's not working. I apologize, but you get like a stack of people, you got a bunch of new people, and their qualifications to do. They all got to be signed off, but they didn't do it when they were actually doing the training. So now you got a bunch of blank ones. You got to be like, bro, I know he did pencil whip. You got to pencil whip it, bro. I can only imagine how many
I saw
your handle
Sting
hurt.
do it. I was with Sting all day. And if you follow me on Instagram at Archie and Chill, Sting did it. I saw Sting do that before he walked out the building. It's on my page because I got the Sharpie in the
But
autograph.
that's the thing we don't see. Like, yeah, we talk about the matches, which I wish we would see more of some of these guys. But some of these guys have to do. Roman Reigns did a lot of press tour, even when you didn't see him. He was still like there. Hey, somebody wants a representative. Roman, you need to go with Paul Heyman, and y'all need to do whatever show talking about the pricing and all this other. And he did it. So, but NXT don't have that. So we'll hope for the best for them, and I
Bro,
hope
if
that's a
I'm
very
working
rare
every
instance.
day for $30,000 and somebody's being paid $15 million and we see them 3 times a month, I'll feel some type of way.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You're trying to get somebody else up here. He's not on the bottom of the screen.
man. See, the equipment don't even work no more. We've been gone so long. We ain't
Yeah,
had
it's
no
crazy.
pyro.
But
We ain't had no intro. We don't never got two things that match.
let me ask y'all a question, right? As we go into this November season, back in the day, used to always be Survivor Series, the Thanksgiving showdown, right? But now you've seen on Raw, Regal Games. There's Rhea Ripley on the road. War Games. I gotta ask, and I hope this turns into a debacle. What do you prefer, War Game style event or Survivor Series style event? Or can we make these two separate events entirely?
I think you can make them separate.
So Gamaj, oh shit, I gotta drag you over. So you think separate?
Yeah, it could be separate
So
because the way War Games is set up, that's something I would treat like a Hell in a Cell match. If it's something where it's a faction or rivalry that makes sense and it's elevated to where there's like a good background behind it, that's what I would use War Games for. Which is why with the men so far, the team makes sense to me. If you look at the women's, besides Kabuki Warriors and Rhea and Io, I don't see how the other two make sense for it to be a War Games match. That's something I would make a classic 5-on-5 because you could treat that like an all-star team. And if it was set up like that, I would like it more. But for a War Games, it makes no sense.
so
And if
you
you look,
think?
go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead.
And I was gonna say that was part of what made the War Games match for the men's last year arguably the best one that they've had in Survivor Series.
What made the War Game special was that we didn't see it all the time.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Now
How's
it's
it keep
like
doing this?
every year we get a War Game, and even if it's not a cohesive story, let's just put them in the War Game. It's lessened the value from it. And Survivor Series haven't been Survivor Series in years. Survivor Series used to be these people would never be on the team, but they got to get along. These people hate each other. It was for something. Now it's kind of the same thing with Survivor Series. It's let's just put who's the biggest names. Let's just put them there on the team. So
The Survivor Series ain't been the same to me since they stopped doing brand versus brand.
yeah. So Survivor
Z,
Series.
I gotta ask Mr. John Cena. You know what I'm saying? The question I just posed was War Games event or Survivor? Like, which do you prefer? Can we make them two separate events? Like,
Well, I think two separate events is interesting, but I'm kind of against the whole turning everything into 2-day events kind of thing. As you can see, I'm on the train. I'm from New York. We try to save money whenever we can. The 2-day events is nasty work. As far as Survivor Series War Games, the thing with me is I feel like War Games started out so hot and it was so cool, and they kind of bled it dry to the point where now, at least me, but I think a lot of fans similar, I kind of just miss a good old fashioned Survivor Series match. And I feel like I don't know if they're just gonna bleed War Games dry or if they're making people wait for a good old fashioned Survivor Series. I don't even know how they transition back at this point, but I miss a good old Survivor Series match. One of my favorite matches ever is NXT versus SmackDown versus Raw when it was a Survivor Series. So I need another one of those.
They can't ever go back. And Z, don't lie to our fans. If you know anything, you follow Z at Brick Vibes. He got 1,000 Lego sets. So and
why
see,
would
you
We
it?
out
know
we
what I'm
we
saying?
out
See what I'm
picking up
saying? He
Lego
got a
right
thousand
now.
Lego
Oh,
sets.
hold on, hold on. Let me get that.
I never even
That's
see what is he got the friends.
that's
Friends.
Look,
Friends the
so
apartment. This exclusive, this rare. If you know, you know. I'm on the train because Jerry knows I was out getting that Lego. So follow
Oh,
Brick Vibes.
so he trying to save money. Yeah, all right.
let me tell you something. If you've ever watched like any classic movie where they selling guns and some things, or they selling like where he just bought that Lego set was sketchy as hell, right?
Oh yeah,
There was no
absolutely.
lights, no street lights, right? It was look at how dark I am, right? So imagine this, you know what I'm
So
saying? It's
scratchy.
this, it's this, and then but Z's complexion, and I'm like, damn, Z, what you doing? I talked to him in a low tone because I didn't know, it's sketchy. I was like, hey, Z, what you doing? He was like, yo, I'm about to get this leg. The way he said it was so tough because his upper lip was pushed out. He's like, yeah, I'm about to get this Lego set. I was like, oh, word.
Yeah, he was
He's
at
I
not
a
didn't know if
lying.
he
Chinese
needed some.
restaurant on rush hour looking for Ricky Tan, huh?
I didn't know if Z needed
They not
support.
lying.
You know what I'm saying? But all I know is that
Hey,
Lego, I ain't never seen it in Target, Walmart,
Well, we know
Black.
nobody from NXT buying
that's
Legos
that's
making
what I'm
30,000 a
saying.
year.
Sometimes you got to go to Gotham City to get the good prices, bro. You might not make it out, but if you do, you'll be a legend forever. Karrion
Gotcha.
Cross buying mad Legos right now. I seen him. I seen what he said.
Let's see. I'm not gonna lie.
In other words, we outside, contrary to popular belief. We outside.
I'm not gonna lie. Going back to this, going back to war game. I like war games, but like kind of like what just like what everyone said a little bit. When it's we like MFT versus the Wyatts could be a war games if they kept the beef going. They got two factions, and then we might not see it for a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years because we don't have
That's
another.
it. They gotta take a break. It needs a break.
Yeah, you could have did this back. How did WWE miss this? I don't understand. You had the Bloodline and you had the Hurt. The Hurt. Well, back
I
then it
was
was
thinking that they
The
had
Hurt
so many
Business.
good
Yeah,
opportunities to do it.
yeah,
The thing
yeah.
is, too, I already like how they had it when it was like the big, like the WWE big pay per view was Survivor Series traditional, and then NXT had the War Games. Like, I used to like that division almost, but then they made it like everything is War Games, and they kind of messed up what they had going on. I felt like the formula was so good. It's almost like Coca Cola. You remember when they dropped new Coca Cola? And the formula was trash. So, like a month later, they had to get rid of it and go back to old Coca Cola. That's what happened. They messed with the formula and it's kind of dried out now. We need that
Like
old
the
Coca-Cola back.
like the power theme song.
Exactly. We need that OG one back.
they
Yeah,
say this is a big rich town.
like once a thing becomes a thing, they make it a thing. Because people look when you see William Regal, you know, war again. Yeah, it's too. It lost its value a little bit. So
I
I
think
don't
they could
know.
still pull off doing one traditional Survivor Series match and then one War Games match. I still think they could kind of do that, but they got to switch it up from the constant War Game. It's getting to the fact that people, because War Games is super fire. So the fact that people is even getting tired of something that fire, something's going wrong because War Games is fire, bro.
Yeah, I think even like when you look at this year's, it doesn't warrant a war games. You're just makeshifting a team. The two world champions are all of a sudden buddy. They pulled main event Jey Uso, who was just fighting
Huh.
CM Punk for the world title, and now they're going like it. Just why do we need? And you don't even have all 5 people to say war games. So it's like, why don't you just have a triple like what you should have did was made champions on one side and champions on the other, and then be like, anybody who loses, whoever you pin gets that time. Like we saw something like this back when it was 2 dudes with attitudes, Intercontinental title with Shawn, Diesel was the world champion. They faced Camp Cornette, which was Owen, and Yoko, which were tag champs. Owen was subbed out for British Bulldog, but we'll get into that for a minute. Whoever got pinned, they lost their belts. And that's how we're gonna do this. So no matter what, we're gonna see a title change. Why you got the 2 world champions on one side? I don't know. But
It's
you
his
you
name.
know,
Yeah, but see, that's another thing in War Games. Even when it first started at NXT, but at WCW too, and in WWE, motherfuckers really used to be going to war. They didn't even like each other, and it was really going to war. Now, motherfuckers is all smiling and shit, doing it for the competition. Motherfuckers really used to like botch on purpose and try to break people's backs to try and fucking get in the War Game spirit. That's what I'm trying to see. And now you got all the heels. They lose left and right. There's no heels that actually look formidable. You got Gunther retiring Goldberg, and then I love Sami Zayn, but you telling me Sami Zayn did what Goldberg couldn't do? This is nonsense. This is madness going on here. You got a bunch of heels who ain't really healing and then smiling at 1 week and then on the other. And then you saying they going to war. They not going to war. They're gonna call that scrimmage games. They not even really going to war.
They could have put
Bring out
together something fire with Cena and had a bunch of those names we mentioned on one team, trying to take out Team Cena, and he with a bunch of like the NXT talent or something. That would have been fire.
bro, they could have brought back Wade Barrett, done a new Nexus versus Team Cena, and broke the whole internet. You know what the problem is though? They got like 300 million from Saudi Arabia. They comfortable right now. They chilling. That's a lot of bags of chips to spend. They chilling. Oh shit! I seen him
Podcast
pop
chief is
in.
into the building.
I seen him
What's the
pop in.
word?
I already know, bro. I'm not
The
even gonna
word is
say
that
nothing, but
damn
I know he's
jacket.
gonna
Hold up,
agree with
time
me.
out. You're not just gonna
Yeah.
pop Z over here in Gotham City in the back lots buying Legos from masked men
We got to do it,
in
bro.
dark areas and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that's crazy. With Lego accessories don't even come out till 2026. So shout out to Z for getting that. But where
Jennifer
we get that
Aniston ain't even got that. She was on the show.
You said what?
Jennifer Aniston ain't got that. He got a friend's. You ain't never seen it in
No,
Walmart?
we talking about
Nothing.
the jacket.
Amazon.
Like, yeah.
Let's talk about that jacket, brother.
Oh yeah, shout out to Chalkline. I just opened this today. This shit is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I see it. You got the Wolfpack joint, the NWO logo, WCW.
You see
Damn,
Wolfpack.
good
That's a
brother.
great example of what I was just saying. Wolfpack was really trying to like hurt
Let's take a
people in
minute
the
to put
ring. It was
DNA in
for
the
the
spotlight.
story, but they was trying to hurt
World's
people.
flyest
That's the
jacket.
thing.
Yeah, that's tough.
DNA, we was talking about war games versus the traditional Survivor Series. What you think? What you want back? Or do you want the traditional back? Or you fucking with the war games?
I want the traditional.
That's what we were saying. I
Yeah, I
told you
don't.
we was
I
gonna
feel like
agree with.
war games. It was like when they had the essential bloodline, like the original, when they was doing their thing. I feel like that was the best time for war games, like because it made sense. Like you know what I mean. It was that strong ass faction. Yeah, everybody was trying to take down, so it made sense why you have to get 5 guys to go against Roman Reigns in the bloodline. Now I just think it's. I mean, I like what they said. They said this is the ruthless depression era. I agree, man.
For
I'm
real, bro.
depressed.
It dead ass is.
Like I feel like they just
Bro, and the
forcing shit.
wrestlers are depressed too.
Like if you really think about it, there's no set. Like the biggest thing that can happen with war games is Jey Uso can turn on the team. That's the only way I see it being, you know what I mean, like it paying off is he turns on the team and joins division. Because other than that, it's like, how do you even, why would you even put
That
him
would
with,
be crazy.
yeah,
That would
why
be
would you put him
crazy.
with CM Punk and Cody when he just was having problems with seeing like, it's just all over the place. The shit doesn't make sense. Unless we gonna, you know what I mean, spin the block on that and then he turns on them, which is why it was all like a plot. But I just don't see it being good. Like I would have rather at this point, like, you know what I mean? Whatever rivalry Cena had that he couldn't fight that person one on one, I would have rather they do Team Cena and that person do a team. And, you know what I mean? Like, since it's his last joint, I would have thought that would have been fire.
Yeah, is Cena even gonna be on Survivor Series?
Yeah, he's scheduled.
He's scheduled for that.
He's scheduled to.
They're going to add him
That's
to the Cody and CM Punk team.
You got to add some serious firepower to the heels because when I see like okay, John Cena, even main event Jey Uso, Cody, and CM Punk versus guys who've never won a world title, it looks like the Dream Team versus Angola, and that's just so again the market value is like
The
what are
only
we
two
doing here?
people that would make sense to add to the heel team is Brock Lesnar because of Paul Heyman, and I would have said Drew, but I don't know if he's coming back because he's filming a movie.
They fucked up that Seth shit way too quick. I don't know if it was because he was injured or something, but they had the vision turn on Seth
He was
way
injured.
too quick.
He was
He was injured. He faked the
okay,
injury,
I
then he
see.
got hurt.
I think that was the jinx because he faked it.
Yeah,
Shoulder checking the
They
mat.
should have never did that.
They ain't even got enough people to make a good heel team. You ever
Yeah.
you ever play Pokemon, right? This is gonna be a
No.
reference, but stick with me. All right, so Jerry excluded. Y'all real ones ever play Pokemon? And like you go in the gym and it's 5 versus 5, but one of your Pokemon is strong enough to just body their whole team. That's what it's about to look like. They got one good heal, maybe, and then they got a bunch of. They really messed up. I don't know why it's not just Team Cena versus Team whoever.
Let me ask you. Let me fantasy book, and I'll start with Z. If you
Oh, it's
could do
fantasy.
Team Cena, who would you put on Team Cena, and who would you have Team Cena face as their captain, team whomever, and who would be
Well,
on that team? You
honestly,
can
if
pick
it was
four
like
or
a if
five.
it was like a fantasy where it's like it don't even matter type shit, I would have like Wade Barrett come back and do a new Nexus type shit where it was like him, fucking. You could even throw the Vision on there, and you have Cena, you have Cody because it even makes sense with the Nexus thing because he was like kind of part of that. You could have Randy join Team Cena. You could have CM Punk. You could do all like the OGs versus all the new class of people. But if it was like more realistic, to be honest, I would still have it be like the Young Guns versus Team Cena. Like you have Cena, CM Punk, Cody. I think that's all good. I would even have Randy join them. It's 5, right? It's 5 versus 5.
Yeah, five.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
See,
say that name.
the Seth really messed it up. Who you think I'm gonna say on the 5th? Hold on, because I was really
AJ Styles. Pick 5 people John Cena had
Yeah,
rivalry
yeah,
with.
I would go with AJ. But you know what? Okay, I can't lie. I understand why, but I can't lie. I don't like the disrespect the Miz is getting. He was a big part of this.
Yeah,
So
take out
maybe
Cody then. Take out
so
Cody.
nah, I want to keep Cody. But
Yeah.
we might do
Oh,
Team Cena versus Team Miz, and you
That's
have
what I
Miz
was.
with like
That was my
all the
pick.
newer
Team Cody
people.
versus Team Cena versus Team Miz. That was my
Yeah,
pick.
I think you might honestly. I think they missed a chance to do that. And you got Miz get all the newer people. You could have like Grayson Waller. You could have Austin Theory, and he just got all the cocky youngsters versus like the grizzled
I'm not gonna
veterans. That's
lie.
what
I'm
I
not
would
gonna
do.
lie. I like that because that's exactly what I was just saying with finding a rivalry that hasn't been touched on and using Survivor Series
Exactly.
Yeah.
to tap into that. Cause
And
it's
that
like
could be a great story. And you give a bunch of upcomers who match that kind of energy that Miz has a shot.
because my
Yeah.
whole thing is like you wouldn't really particularly see like well we went through the year. Where would I mean the only place I could see where Miz would match up on the singles like outside of Survivor Series would have been Clash in Paris, but we know why they picked Logan Paul because of, popularity internationally. So there's no other room for him unless it was on a Raw or a SmackDown appearance where he fights the Miz. So if you think in pay-per-view, Survivor Series, that way it's just not about him and Miz, but you can still kind of tie that rivalry in there and have him in there. So that's why I thought it would have worked.
That's what I'm saying. They kind of messed up with like Cena's last run. Like, I really thought,
They
like,
completely messed it up. It's not
like
I
in
mean,
even.
they messed it
Infinity
up. I'm gonna
War.
be honest with you. I didn't want him to lose to Cody.
I didn't want him to lose to Cody anyway, but I get why they did it because they were just cutting. Like, to me, he was going to keep the belt to the end, and they pivoted completely and moved him losing it to Cody. Like, he was going to lose it to Cody at the end, but they
Yeah.
pivoted and had him lose it there. I felt like how Infinity War and Endgame is a culmination of everything you've seen for those 10 years. I thought this last run was going to be that for Cena fans. We would get like a meaningful Randy Orton last match, a meaningful CM Punk, meaningful Miz, but we
CM Punk
kind of
match
didn't
was
get any
fire
of
though.
that. That match was fine, but the storyline wasn't that crazy. I feel like the Miz and John
Me
had a
personally,
crazy
I'd have
one.
rather them stay here to the end, to December.
Oh yeah, yeah. They should have just stuck with that shit. And I said this before. He should have stayed heel to the end. He could lose to Cody, pass the torch, and then turn face. Like literally at the end of that match, hold up Cody's arm. Now he's a face again and go out of face.
not gonna lie, I would rather see John Cena 5 match. He picks his team and he picks his rivals: Orton, Punk, Miz, AJ, Orton, Punk, yeah, and then John Cena. And they go against Team Cody. And Team Cody take a bunch of people that's like trying to put John Cena out, which would be like him, maybe Roman, maybe you put Braun Breaker, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like whoever your new talent is trying to wipe John. You wipe because all those guys are retiring in the next 2 years. So let's get them all that last gravy train. And if we could pick up a Chris Jericho or somebody on the low, cool. Then we could bring them out as a special run in or whatever. But
I feel
So with
like
that being said,
I feel like that would have only worked with Cody if Cody's heel.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
yeah.
remember
With
this.
that
Remember
being
when Jericho
said, who's the other two guys you think is on Cody's team for
I
War
will
Games?
put on Cody's team?
No, that's gonna be on there like in War Games. You know, it's already
Oh.
Jay Uso,
In
CM
real life.
Punk,
In
Cody,
real life. John Cena. Because
and Roman.
I don't think he's gonna huh?
And Roman.
Who that?
So
And Roman. Yeah.
Who are
Roman
they
Reigns.
fighting? Who are they fighting?
Division.
Division featuring Logan Paul.
Bro,
I thought he was down with them though.
trash. Bro, hold on. That is
Logan Paul isn't Logan
Wow.
Paul officially with Division now?
We need
I
like
mean,
a
no.
I'm gonna wait
two.
till
Bro,
No,
after
he
it's
just
done
popped
to
up
see if
and
he
gave Paul
still
Heyman the
is
knuckles
in
and
there.
walked
But
away.
We
Bron
need like
Breakker
a 2 to 3 month period where this is gonna be controversial, but hear me out before you call me out. We need like 2-3 months where we let people do drugs and just kind of go crazy and break the law again, and then we can start calming shit down. But I promise you, it's gonna be the most fire wrestling you ever seen for those 2-3 months, and then we could calm shit down. But we need to, at this point, is you got Logan Paul versus
I
that's
don't know where he came from.
yeah,
But Bron Breakker said when he was walking in the back with Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed, I don't trust him. And don't he kept
Yeah.
screaming that shit. Like, so
I feel
I
they
don't
didn't
know.
have nothing. Now they just trying to do everything.
I mean, I'll say this with Cody's team: if they don't put Roman in it, if he stands by him saying, "I don't want to be back till what was it? I don't want to see y'all till Christmas."
I don't see y'all till Christmas. It's
If that's
crazy.
legit, and they don't put Roman, and I don't think people will agree with this, I would have put LA Knight on the team. He's probably the only other wrestler who would make sense.
Man,
That's
they
what
cut
I
his
was
mic
thinking
off
too.
the other night. They not trying to even hear LA
Word,
Knight.
like how long he been feuding with the Vision for what, the last 3 to 5 months?
They cut his mic off mid promo.
See, and if they was smart, they would leverage even that because that clip of him getting cut off went viral. If they were smart, they would have him do another promo, cut him off again, and then he start talking shit like, "Oh, they cutting me off. They don't want to hear me talking about this real shit." They could turn that into a whole like, man. They got to get on top of this right now. I'm gonna call Triple H tonight. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him our complaints, bro. We gonna work this out. We gonna work this out, bro.
Yeah, y'all see him Monday anyway.
Man. But make sure you wear that jacket so we see that shit.
Nah, I got something different, man.
I need to holler at the chalk line folks. They got the shorts now too. They going crazy over there. Don't do it. Don't see. Look at him.
We got ISO.
He like the Joe Hendry of merch. You say it, and you know what I'm saying.
And it appears.
Is that a respirator bag?
That's the new joints they dropped. Yeah, they dropped some crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they dropped a bunch of crazy.
These joints right here is crazy. These Randy Orton joints. The Viper.
Look like you going out. Look like you going outside. DNA.
These joints tough.
So that was crazy. Yeah, shout out. Man.
Matter of fact,
I was looking at them earlier. They got a crazy
matter of
drop.
fact, speaking of Orton, how long has it been since he ain't been on TV?
Disrespect. Too long.
God,
I got a question. Y'all think we're gonna ever see another tour like this again? Because they gotta know they fumbled on this.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. I think now that they know they fumbled, they could do one good again. Like AJ Styles already announced his tour for next year, so I think it's gonna be the AJ Styles.
He announced his tour. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Cena was the only one that wanted to do that. Everybody else just wanted to do one last match.
Yeah, he didn't announce a tour.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be real with you. They're not gonna give AJ the same treatment as Cena. His is gonna be worse. Because AJ wasn't a day one. Cena was.
The only person who could garner something like that is Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And Roman.
Yeah, Randy.
Listen, I think Randy's will be crazy. He's just gonna be RKOing people for a whole year straight. for no
Yeah,
reason.
Randy was really. People forget Randy was really a goon. He was pulling people into
Oh,
the
yeah.
ring. He was like
Yeah, but I
RJ's
think-
I
people
think
that demanded their
honestly,
parents.
everybody else is just going to do one match. I don't think nobody else is doing that many dates.
That was
Again,
my problem. They announced the dates. I didn't like that because now we on a clock and we counting it down.
Yeah.
but I think
It'd have
that's
been fun if
Cena's
we got
doing.
matches on those dates though, because like who do you think you get? But
But what
you remember when
Cena
he said he's
said,
gonna do
yo,
about
I
30?
just gotta show
Let me
up.
ask
I
you
don't
a
have to
better
wrestle.
question though. Do you really think this is gonna be it for Cena? Do you ever think like 5
He's
years,
done.
10 years down the
He's
line
done.
we gonna see
No,
it?
he's done.
Nah, he's done.
done.
He'll do sporadic
Nah.
appearances, but he's not doing any matches.
I don't think he's doing that. I think he's gone. Like,
Yeah, he said you like he was saying like you won't see me being a special referee.
well, we
You
might
won't
not
see
even
me at the
recognize
announcer
unless
table.
he fully steps into Hollywood. We might not even recognize this man in 5-10 years. He's gone.
You see him, Batista. His whole form is different. His physical and The Rock just switched over. Hit the way his size and bulk. Cut that
Batista
out.
said he'd rather go broke again than come back to wrestling.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think like on a Raw 40th year or 30th, he might pop out. That's it. Something like that.
Right.
WrestleMania 50, just to say what up. But as far as like popping up and even F5 and some attitude adjustment, somebody, nah, I think it's over. That's why he's doing all these dates. You got to think nobody else that ended. That's why they just did one match because they don't know they plan to do appearances later doing that. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Somebody that's like, yo, man, I'm eating bad and after this I'm going vegan or I'm really getting in the gym and taking care of my body. That last meal, they're going to go ballistic because they know they're not doing it no more. That's how I feel with him. Like, give me 80 appearances because after
That was me
this,
last week eating crazy.
so
You know what's funny? A funny little mismatch about that. Before I went in the military, I was like, "Oh, we're going to boot camp tomorrow. What you want? What you want? What you want? We can go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? We can go to Ruth Chris. We can do all this stuff." And my dumbass said White Castle because I knew they only had them. You know what I'm saying? And I ordered a 20-pack.
this
And
nigga's stomach,
Time out.
murder burger.
Time out. You ate 20 White Castles, HP?
yeah,
He
I was like
he think
18.
he Harold and
Wow.
Kumar or some shit.
Bro, I used to love White because that was like
I
my
think
drunk
it's time for
food.
me to get up off the pie, man.
Yeah.
20 White
Hold on.
Castles.
I gotta ask something. I got two statements, really. Two statements. One is a question, one's a statement. First of all, in relation to John Cena, I know it's impossible and I know it's a fantasy, but you see how much shit, and it's not just me. I know I be talking a lot of shit, but you see how much shit a lot of people be talking about Triple H and his creative decisions? If somehow he were to move heaven and earth to make John Cena's last opponent Edge, everything would be forgiven.
Yeah.
That would be one of the biggest wrestling moments in history. Also,
yes.
I gotta rewind because are y'all telling me that Randy Orton is perfectly healthy right now and they just not doing nothing with him?
There hasn't been any word of him being injured.
Yeah, there's
He
no
just ain't been
injury.
on
Yeah.
TV.
Mm-mm.
Even his girl was complaining about that.
Yes. And he liked it.
Because somebody tweeted
Yeah.
that Randy Orton not being on TV and used as disrespectful. She's like, I agree. So
Yeah.
Yes.
During Cena's last tour, too.
Yeah.
That's
Well, you know,
Randy's
they
been
pulled
getting
the trigger
treated
on
bad
Randy
since
too
he
early.
returned, bro. Since his return, they've been stepping on Randy. Every time
Again,
Randy made a movie, it's been stepped on.
Yeah. Even
Randy is
even
a
at,
two-time King of the Ring finalist, like in a row. He lost to Gunther, then he lost to Cody in the finals. They've been having him do this thing where he stares at the title, or maybe he's not, and he's just doing it because he knows the fans will talk. Like, bro, give Randy. Randy was the youngest world WWE champion ever to this day, like current standing. And yet he has less, like he's been a WWE guy the whole time. And you're right, he's been stepped on. He's been used for big matches to get people over. And yet CM Punk is 46 and is the world champion. Hulk Hogan was the last undisputed champion of the WWF era, and then it turned over. Give Randy a title. Let him pick up 15 and 16 and tie John Cena at 17.
Man, Max B just came home. Free Randy. Free
Ow.
Randy.
Yo, but what if it's like, you know how some people like they act away and then they kind of go crazy and they think they that? What if Randy's like really the Viper and he be like RKOing people and they like, yo, he just too dangerous
Even
for
better.
TV, bro.
Even better.
That's
would be
what we
good.
kind of need right now.
Z, shut up.
I'm just saying. It's like on everything I love. I seen Kane See No Evil the other day. Do y'all remember that movie?
Good night.
Yeah.
Y'all remember? Yo, the Good Night with the Lights Off was crazy. I was watching Kane See No Evil, and I thought this shit was real when I was a kid. And it was in the bonus features. They would make it look like the I'm 30 right now. I'm 30. But I remember, when did that shit come out? Because that shit came out a long time ago.
Bro, you had to be
It
like,
didn't.
See No Evil is an old movie, bro.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
like
I was in the military
2000,
watching it.
some shit
I
like
had to be
that.
like 12, 13 when that shit came
HP
out.
is in the military for 40 years.
See, yeah, like the problem is he thought I'm old. You're old, bro.
You
That
think
was
he
the
retired
problem.
2 years ago.
That's a fact. But they made it seem like he was really crazy. Like he would be choking people, and they'd be like cut, and they'd be like, Kane, stop! Like he was still choking them.
Yeah, Z,
Yo,
that,
I'm
Z, that movie
2006.
came out in
Thank you, Joker.
2006.
You remember they used to
2006.
come out
That's
cut
20
promos?
years ago.
Stop! Like he was still 2006. That movie came out.
Yeah.
It's 19 years ago. It's not that long.
That's a while ago, bro. I was 11. That's even younger than I thought.
Back then, you could eat 40 White Castles, huh?
Yeah, that's when you
Back then I was
that's when you was still
Everything
58,
is
Jerry.
chiseled. Your man's look like a god, like a Greek god and shit. You know what I'm saying?
But
Crazy.
yeah, we so y'all got anything else before we get up out of here, man? I know y'all got a big weekend and big week next week. I mean, what we doing?
Hey man, big event this Saturday. Then Raw on Netflix next Monday. John Cena's last time in Madison Square Garden.
We in the
Attitude Era
building.
podcast will
We
be
in the
in
building.
the building. I think it's gonna be crazy, man. I think he's gonna fight in the Garden. He got to. It's one last time. I just
Yeah,
wonder
for sure.
Oh yeah, that's MSG.
sure.
Yeah.
who you think he's gonna fight.
I put this in the chat earlier, and it's the last thing I'm gonna say. Nobody's mentioned RVD or Zack Ryder yet. If old radio came on, MSG will go crazy.
What the hell? Get him over there.
Yeah,
Zack Ryder would go crazy, bro.
Oh, Ray,
Bro, they will go crazy if it
I
was
think
Zack
Zack
Ryder.
Ryder would be a good. And it's a New York thing; it'd be fire. But
Bro, for some reason, I feel like they gonna do like Joe Hendry or something. I feel like they gonna give Joe Hendry a shot for real.
Fuck, get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, I like RVD.
That's Gamar's trigger word right
Me
there.
seeing RVD pull up in the Garden.
It's over.
Come
Yeah,
on,
him and
that's
Cena got some history too, and that's two names nobody mentioned. So
No,
Hey,
Z,
I would
Z,
love
let
to
me,
see.
Z, let me tell you something about Joe Hendry, because I got no issue with Joe Hendry.
here you go.
Cool.
Let him go. Then we
But
up
this
out
is
of
the
here.
no.
Hey,
This
hold
is
on,
the
hold on,
problem.
hold on, Gamaj. I gotta slide you
Nah,
over
Ice on
to the. I gotta
Gamaj.
slide the panties to the side.
Nah, look, this is the problem. We forget about Mania when Orton squashed him. So I'm supposed to believe people really want to see that shit.
Talk to him, Gamal. Like,
No,
talk
for
to
real.
Joe
Why?
Hendry.
Why Joe Hendry? Why?
He had a. This is why people were saying it. It's because he had an interview where he said that shit and it went viral that he wants to battle John Cena.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mother said they want to battle Cena to go viral.
I got a question.
Fenny
Then
said that.
I got a question that I know we gotta get up out of here. This one name nobody's mentioned. Do y'all think we see the final boss anytime between now and John Cena's retirement?
No.
Maybe in the crowd watching the match for his last match and shit, but I don't think he's gonna be like part of the thing.
I hope he pops out, bro. I don't
John
think
Cena
so.
got to get his soul back, baby. He gotta get his soul back.
Right.
If he comes
One
back,
of
he
the
got to put
greats.
that. If he does, he got to put down the Terramana.
Oh man,
I think he
Gamaj
did.
has
I
been
think with that
activated.
weight
Time to
loss,
get up
I
out
think
of here. Gamaj has been activated, folks. You
I
gotta
think
go.
he chilled, man. But the Rock off the Terramana was comedy, bro.
That's what I'm saying. He
I'll
might
be
need to
honest.
drink a little more.
I seen Vinny put JBL. I
That's
don't want to see
another
that.
one. I mean,
I don't
see
want
that.
JBL
I think
cannot
that we
wrestle.
should have got that earlier. At this point, I need the biggest names. Pause.
Hey, yo, JBL had some fire matches. Don't
No, they
downplay JBL.
But you gave me Randy Orton, and that was a banger with Cena. CM Punk, that was a banger. AJ Styles, that was a banger. JBL ain't really been active. So to think like at this point, I need quality matches because we only got 2 left.
And I
Yeah.
think and that's the problem. I think we've run out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't waste it on JBL. If you gave me JBL in the beginning, I'm souped. I'm excited. Like, oh shit, JBL.
They even brought back Brock Lesnar.
We ran out of the top shelf liquor. Now we got the aristocrat.
I would have said Sheamus if he wasn't part of the tournament.
Bro, Sheamus actually is a legit issue.
Sheamus would have been good for
if he wasn't in the tournament, Sheamus would have been good.
Sheamus don't have bad matches. 2, Sheamus he's searching for a Grand Slam too. Intercontinental title is what he needs to get it.
Sheamus was the face of the company once upon a time. So
people might be disappointed, but one thing, when that match goes, there ain't no bad Sheamus matches.
Yo, honestly though, the person we forgetting, who I was really hoping would have a place in his last run, fucking Jacob Fatu, Shades of John Cena versus Umaga. That would have gone crazy. That would have gone crazy, bro.
It would have gone crazy at a time, but they let Jacob cool off.
If they had planted the seeds and pulled the trigger on Zilla, that would have been a crazy story to tell.
Yeah,
that would have been insane. Umaga's son is
WWE
here.
don't bang with Fort Rope.
Oh, we know about
that. At all.
Yeah, it's time to wrap it up. We talking too much. We spilling this. We pulling the curtain back.
We breaking kayfabe. We breaking kayfabe here, bro.
I bet.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, we'll be back Friday night for the Friday Night SmackDown big event this weekend. Game will be out there, so stop by, swing by, see what's going on. Monday Night Raw, we're gonna be tuned in. But yeah, thanks for tuning into the Wednesday Night Wars. That is the podcast chief, DNA. Z the Dropout. That's Gamad, your favorite podcast, wrestler's favorite podcast, the King HP. I'm the Archie Carter. Add to our podcast. We see y'all Friday. You heard? Peace.
Yes, sir.